joining us now on the Boardwalk Honda Hotline. You can catch her and the rest of the WWE SummerSlam Heatwave Tour this Saturday at the Wildwood Convention Center. Tickets are still available at Ticketmaster.com. Becky Lynch joining us now on the Boardwalk Honda Hotline. Becky, how you doing today?
I'm fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. So obviously the first thing we got to ask you about, the big news came out last night about WWE Evolution, the first ever all-women's pay-per-view. You know, I know a lot of you are excited. So just kind of tell the audience about what this really means to you, someone like you who has worked so long in this business.
You know, it's mind-blowing, right? Because when I started off and I came over 5 years ago, right, my whole goal was to make sure that people cared about the characters in women's wrestling, right? That they would get emotionally invested in the stories, and that we were matches that people wanted to see, that we were no longer going to be considered bathroom breaks, et cetera, et cetera. And to have gone from that 5 years ago to then debuting 3 years ago on Raw, and it being just so much excitement. There was, of course, the hashtag Give Divas a Chance, and then being able to turn the Divas Championship into the Women's Championship, and then all the historical matches that we've had along the way, from Hell in a Cell to ladder matches, several ladder matches this stage, tables matches, and the list can go on and on and on, Iron Women matches, to now having our own pay-per-view. I mean, it feels like the right step in the evolution, which of course, hence the name. But the thing is that it's people want to see it. You know what I mean? And there's no reason why this won't sell out, why this won't be a huge success, why this won't be contender for pay-per-view of the year.
Before you were the first ever SmackDown Women's Champion at Backlash, before you joined NXT, you had to overcome some major injuries in your life before you got to this point. Tell the folks a little bit about everything that you've overcome, because your story is really phenomenal.
So I mean, sure, overcoming injuries is one thing, right? And that's physical. For me, I think the biggest step has been overcoming doubt and overcoming a lack of belief in myself, and realizing that no, I have ability and I have potential, and I can change the way things are, and I can change how people are going to look at this sport for forever. And that was the biggest thing, because when I left, 12 years ago, this didn't seem like a possibility. And I couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And by the grace of God or the universe or whatever stroke of luck, that I was able to come back at just the right time with the right women who had the right mindset and in the right atmosphere where people were ready to see a change. And even coming back, because I had taken a 7-year break from wrestling, it was really about regaining my confidence and pushing through and rediscovering myself. And the PC was just the perfect place to do that. And learning from the likes of Dusty Rhodes, it's just beyond a dream come true. And now where we are and where we're going, it's just unfathomable. Sometimes I just have to sit back and pinch myself and have a little cry.
Becky, as someone who I follow the business obviously on a week-to-week basis, and have especially followed your career, you know, from the beginning, when did you really realize that, okay, now that the women of the WWE was really going to get that big push that, you know, quite honestly has been overdue in the last couple of years? I mean, we had the Divas Revolution and everything, but when did you realize, okay, now it's really time for, you know, the women of WWE to really get on that new level and start to show that, you know, we've been waiting for this moment?
You know, like, I think from the beginning, and like, I think in NXT, and it wasn't, here's the thing, it wasn't ever like this big deal, right? It was just like that seemed like it was something to overcome once we started going, if that makes any sense. It was like we were having great matches. We were stealing the show most of the time that we went out there, and people were really starting to care. And then it was just like, okay, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time, and it's just consistency, right? So it's one thing to go out there and have a phenomenal match once, but it's another thing to maintain that level, to maintain storylines where people care, where you're able to get people to care about your character, to hate somebody else or hate you and love somebody else. It's just about maintenance. And from there, it was like, of course, we had our times where it was like, oh, well, I don't like this storyline or that storyline or whatever. And I think anybody, any wrestler is going to have that. But you just keep working, and I think the time has been changing so rapidly, and the demand for female empowerment and athleticism is just it's kind of the perfect storm right now, you know, because it's so topical. People want to see women succeeding. They want to see us supporting each other. And it's just been it's been lightning in a bottle, especially with the talent that we've had.
And you can catch Becky Lynch at the WWE Live SummerSlam Heatwave Tour this Saturday at the Wildwoods Convention Center. It's Becky Lynch and Lana versus Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville this Saturday at the Wildwoods Convention Center, part of a jam-packed lineup. You can get tickets at Ticketmaster.com. Becky, we know you got a very busy schedule, but appreciate you joining us today on the Boardwalk Honda Hotline.
Thank you so much.